at 14. I didn't compete for the first time until I was 19, though. I started boxing at 12, so I had a lot of experience with like the regional silver gloves when I was younger and stuff like that. I boxed a lot in the Adirondack region, out Catskill region as well, a couple other regions. So I did a lot of that. So I was familiar with the area, like Ring of Hope Boxing with Jarek Jones. Known him for a very long time. And then my coach, Duff Holmes, has known Tim Rankins with Cage Wars for years. They were friends in high school, from what I gathered. So I fought for him first when I was 19. And I kept going right until I turned pro, basically. I only fought for a promotion 3 other times outside of Cage Wars. So out of my 16 or 15 fights, they were all Cage Wars, all 12 of them. So I was a heavyweight champion there, and I defended my belt 5 or 6 times, something like that. And I owe Cage Wars a lot.
No, Cage Wars has had a significant impact, I think, on a lot of local athletes. Unfortunately, I don't have as not many nice things to say about them as you do. But that's neither here nor there. Looking at your rankings right now, though, you're U.S. Northeast. You're number 13 in pro heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
You're New England. You're number 6 in pro heavyweight, and New York, you're number 4.
Yeah.
That must have taken a long time to build up those rankings. What was that journey like?
So as an amateur, I was number 1 in the Northeast and number 1 in New York. So that when you go into pro and you win your first pro fight, Tapology and some other places do actually factor that in a little bit. For me, I think in New York, I was 1 after my second pro win. It's just I've been inactive for the last year. That's been the tough part. Is I was injured in my last fight. I think I won that last fight, I'd probably be a lot higher. I think I'd be in the top 5 in the Northeast and number 1 in New York still. But yeah, it takes a lot, to get recognized as being, quote, the best in your region, because essentially you just have to win. You can't have anything else but wins against solid opponents too. That's the thing too, is a lot of people might have, they'll have 10 wins in a row, but who have you beaten? And when I fought as an amateur, that heavyweight division, I feel like maybe was a little shallow, but I still beat the best guys at the time. I didn't say no to anybody. And then at the other side as a pro, I mean, my first fight, it was against someone I fought as an amateur, but then the second time was the number 1 guy in New England. He was the number 2 in the Northeast behind me. We were supposed to fight as amateurs, 2-3 times. It just didn't work out that way. So when I beat him, I think I shocked a lot of people. And I was number 1 for a little bit, but then my last fight again, just, stuff happens. But
every fighter has an up and down in their career.
Yeah.
Matt Adams there, that was a loss?
Yeah.
What happened there?
I don't like saying his name. I don't. Him and I don't really care for each other. So essentially, I thought, the fight really, I want to say only went for 20-something seconds. And essentially what happened was I hit him once or twice. He tried tying up with me. I shucked him off me. I don't think he knew what to do because I think I stopped virtually everything he wanted to do. And then he just kept spamming teep kicks at me. And he kicked me in my stomach. And I leaned myself backwards to avoid it. And then when I went to readjust my weight, my knee blew. Basically is what happened. So all my balance went. He followed up, took me down with my good leg because he knew I couldn't balance on the bad one. He tried to stop the fight. He looked at the ref, said he's hurt, stop the fight. And it would have ended there, but I stood up. I said, defend yourself at all times. I put all my weight on my right leg to punch. I said, I have a puncher's chance. And then that's when the rest of what was wrong with my knee blew at that point. So the first one basically affected my balance. Then the second one was, everything just went click, click, pop. That was it. That was the worst pain of my life. So he won off of a TKO, technically. The way I word it to everyone is I know he was hitting me, but I couldn't tell you or care because my knee hurt so bad. Someone could have shot me on the other side. I don't think I would have felt it, honestly. So it's that whole night, I remember all of it. It sucked because that was supposed to be my, coming out party. I thought I was going to win that fight convincingly. And Unfortunately, my knee decided it was time to, need surgical intervention. So that's how that turned out.
Unfortunately, age gets to us all, and the knee, and the legs in general seem to be a weak point of most, if not all, athletes.
Sure.
What was the experience like though for you having like someone who maybe you had a beef with, kind of trying to call the fight to try and like maybe save you the injury?
So we didn't have any issues going into the fight. It happened afterwards. Like, I was cool with him. Just to put the story out there, I'll try and sum it up. Basically, he showed up late to weigh-ins. He was overweight for heavyweight. He was like 270 on the dot. So he was 4 pounds over heavyweight limit. He was freaking out backstage, and I was saying, Matt, it's no big deal. We're literally going to fight about it tomorrow. I don't care. Like, I didn't want to take his purse. It's not like we're making a lot of money locally anyway, and I know like even a little bit can help at a small stage like this. And I guess what pissed him off was in the back I was doing Macho Man Randy Savage impressions because I'm just a goofball. And I said like, "Ooh yeah, Matt Adams, nothing but garbage," like the whole Tito Santana promo as a joke. Just like scared of missing weight and stuff like that. It was so stupid, and he got pissed off about it because he thought I was like dead serious, even though he was literally doing it back to me. So afterwards he like went on a smear campaign of me, and I get subscribers from my YouTube channel that reach out like, "What's this dude's problem with you?" He's like, "I have no idea." And so when he talked to me before he blocked me on every single platform, I just wanted to solve it. Like, dude, I don't know what your problem is. And that was it, apparently. So honestly, I don't hate the guy. I don't like saying his name because he said some bad things about me. But I've told people reach out to him, tell him I'm willing to bury the hatchet. He doesn't
want to call him.
Huh?
You want to call him?
No.
I figured maybe it'd make a good episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, hell, who knows? I know the guy I'm fighting against next, I want to say, is his teammate or something like that. So who knows? Maybe I'll see him next week.
RJ Harris.
So tell us about your upcoming fight a little bit.
So apparently I met him. He was in the corner last time because like I have subscribers and like the students that I work with. Actually, they stalk my opponents for me. I don't do anything with it. I don't worry about the guy till I have to. Is the way I word it. And then but I guess he was in the corner with Matt last fight, which I remember, a really tall guy. I don't know much about RJ. Really, I don't. I've watched his fights. Obviously, you do film study and stuff. He just seems like a really big, strong guy, really determined and ready to go. I think he's prepared everywhere. I don't really know what his background is. I know he did like some tough man boxing stuff, which is cool. I always wanted to try that, but sometimes when you have actual amateur experience, they don't let you do it. But yeah, no, I just know he's a big guy. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7", something like that. It's not my first time fighting a guy much taller than me. So I'm just expecting a really tough fight with this one.
What's the LFA rule set like? I'm only vaguely familiar with the promotion.
So the rule set is just pro rules. Like obviously no knees on the ground, no kicks on the ground, but elbows are completely legal. Everywhere, everything's legal. Toe holds, heel hooks, everything. It's just like the UFC.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I just wanted to confirm it was MMA and not K1 or kickbox or Muay Thai.
MMA.
All right.
Yep.
Do you want to hear his record? I'm looking at it.
I think he's 3-0 as a pro.
That's accurate.
Yeah. Looks then he has like 1 loss as an amateur or something like that.
He's looks like he's number 1 in Ohio, but I mean that doesn't say much. I mean, it's Ohio.
I'm surprised that Matt isn't actually, because Matt, the guy that I have the loss to, Matt has gone on to win his next 2 LFA fights, so that's why I'm surprised to hear he's number 1. That's cool though.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Matt's number 2. No, that's New York. New York.
Yeah, which is weird. Get that from New York.
You gotta get that revenge.
Tapology's great.
You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that. Is a lot of people have been a lot of the guests we have on, like we use Tapology as a reference point, and a lot of them all say like Tapology is trash for when it comes to like the the rankings
Dude,
and everything.
Yeah,
even
sometimes.
Michael's last fight, I'm just putting that out there. The one we were just talking about, I just checked this morning. That was a 5-round fight. It got put into Tapology as a 3-rounder. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how a lot of that stuff happens, and the rankings and stuff too. I just feel like.
Yeah, the
Oh,
rankings
yeah.
are for me. The rankings are cool because it gives you an idea of who's out there. For me, I don't really care about who's number 1 through 10. I don't really care. Like when people are like, man, you're the number one. What I usually get told that when I fought at Cage Wars. Oh, you're the number 1 guy in the Northeast. It's like, yeah, you know who knows who I am? Nobody. You know that's basically what I would tell people. It's for me, it's just continue to win. You know, and get to my goal. I think the most important rankings, maybe if LFA came out with like actual pro rankings, which they don't because they circulate people into the UFC so much. My goal period is top 15 in the UFC one day. That's my first goal, first and foremost. But it's nice to see who's out there because there's some names that you see that randomly pop up, like, oh, this guy's in the top 10 of the Midwest now. I've never heard of this guy, and then you watch his fight. Oh, that might be an opponent soon. You know, I like that typology branches people out that way. I'm able to find new people that I may not have known about.
How do you do that? Do you just kind of click the regions?
Yeah, you can click the regions, and then sometimes you click on one guy, and it leads to who did he beat, who did he lose to. Then it shows their rankings, where they're from. You know, because that's for me. I don't like being surprised by names. So I knew who RJ was just because I've seen his name before. I didn't know much about him or watch his fights, but I knew who he was. So it didn't shock me when I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I look at everybody. I might fight them, you know, is the way I see it.
It's funny you say that because like when I saw the name RJ Harris, when I saw RJ, the first name that popped up, I'm sure you can think of who I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I can't remember his last name it's eluding me, but that's where I was like, why is he fighting this guy?
Yeah, you're thinking of RJ Hayes. Yeah, that guy.
I don't know much about the situation with him. I just know that a lot of people have weird sentiments about him.
Yeah, you know, the way I word it is I've known RJ for a while. He actually, when I was going to college at SUNY Oneonta, because he didn't live too far, him and a guy from the past, Dominic Gildersleeve, if you ever remember that name, heavyweight, fought everybody. He wasn't very good, and he'll tell you that, but he fought everybody. And basically, Dom wanted me to train him for like his last amateur fight. Fought Randy Fellion. God, that's another name that just creeped back in my memory. Vermont kid for the Victory Cruiserweight Championship. So I got Dom to lose all the weight, but RJ and Dom hated each other. So they'd come to the room and train and like kill each other every day. RJ never really got that much better, although I didn't mind him. But then he started basically taking dives during fights. I said, I'm never going to corner you again because I'm not going to be associated with that. Because he was winning like shows in Vermont. And then when it was like the non-sanctioned stuff. So, I mean, literally they pick guys from the crowd for all you know. And it just turned into I had heard some things and he had just done some things that just did not sit well with me. You know, when I turned pro, he said, welcome to the pro ranks. And it was like, man, that's something that I take pride in. You know, I've dedicated quite literally over half my life to this, and you just flop in the cage, and I can't respect you for that. So don't welcome me to the pro ranks when you're not. I don't see you that way, you know. And then some other things came up, and I don't want to talk to him. He told me, "Oh, you're my best friend," and stuff. It's like, were we though? No, you know, that's. I hate to sound like a prick. I'm not. I swear I don't just make enemies with everybody. Some people out there are just
no, you so I don't know if you remember this, but my first interaction with you was actually at my job at the Y. I was working with I was training Freedom Acevedo at the time.
Yes.
And I believe Freedom was trying to coach you, and I love Freedom. Freedom's my boy. I actually just talked to him today.
Oh, good.
But I just remember thinking in my head, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy with the fucking trombone? Or is it trombone?
Yep, trombone. Yep, trombone.
And I'm like, this fucking music nerd. But then I like found out like you're actually like this huge fucking badass, like a fucking child. And the music was actually secondary. Yeah. I was like, oh, shit, I better watch my fucking self.
So music was I wanted to box out of high school, but my boxing coach would not let me. I wanted because where I live in Ilion, which is by Turning Stone Casino, which is in Toronto, and they always have ESPN fights and stuff like that, and we knew people that could get us into the Hall of Fame.
Just check your audio real quick.
Mine?
I'm not sure. The audio was cutting out.
It was cutting out on my end too.
Oh, how's this?
It's better now.
Okay. So the Turning Stone and the Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame, are so close to each other. My coach knew everybody. And I said, well, I'm 18. Let's just go pro. I lost my Olympic track. And so I said, I'm not going to wait till 2020. Rio's out. Let's just go pro. My coach wouldn't let me. He said, you got to go to school. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Everyone in my family said, well, you're good at music. My dad played out in band since he was a kid. So I grew up in a musical household. So the option was be a CO like my dad or play music. And so I auditioned at a bunch of different places. I didn't really want to do it, but I wound up because I thought my fight thing was done. Everyone's like, it's a pipe dream. It's done. So primarily throughout college, I went to school for music. I was all in, and I got really good in a short amount of time. But it was never really anything I wanted to do. And even at this point now, I still play. And I still gig out. I get paid here or there. If someone's like, hey, I need a trombonist to fill in, then fine, I'll do it. But, I'm a dean of students at a high school. That tells you how much music helped me. So that's how I'll word that. So, but
that's interesting. So
that's where I met your fiance. Actually, we went to school together.
Kristen graduated from SCC there with the. What was it? She was the first student and first female to get both the audio engineering degree.
She was
the music performance degree. Yeah. She's excessively humble about the whole situation, but no, she recommended our whole audio setup here. That was all her doing. God bless her. She's also our editor in chief over here at the Jmurrayathletics now.
Nice. That's awesome.
Good SCC though is it's a great school. I think there's a lot of great memories to be had there. And it's a great community to be had if you're looking for a great culinary program, great music program, even the criminal justice program they have there, all amazing.
Honestly, the music program at Schenectady was harder than I think literally anything else I've done. Like MMA training's hard, but like Schenectady, like put a mental tax on me that I've never felt ever again. After that experience, that was rough. Because again, I just showed up. I was the audio kid because I didn't really know what I want to do. I'm like, the studio work sounds fun. I had no idea what I was doing. But what?
Oh no, I put my foot down and I have a cable extension underneath my setup here, and my laptop doesn't have a battery, and my foot hit the switch. I just had a damn heart attack. I thought we were gonna lose the whole stream. I was like, oh no.
But yeah, Schenectady, I learned a lot. I'm sure people had opinions of me while I was there too. But I tell everyone, is like, was I classically trained? Not really, but I got paid to do gigs my senior year, so no one else was. So, but I have a lot of good memories at Schenectady for sure.
Out of curiosity, because I actually know a few students from the college. I hope maybe one or two of them might actually pop in and watch once in a while. But what you said, you were doing gigs right out of college, and then I think this is something that could affect a decent amount of viewers. Was that a thing? Was that a result of you just reaching out and trying to expand your abilities, or was that just a matter of someone like? Because I ask because like I know a lot of people who will not take gigs because they don't feel like they can take them because they're not that quality.
Sure.
Like, go ahead.
Well, I understand that standpoint because like, am I good enough to play with this group? Well, if you have to eventually get there, is the way I would tell people. And here's the thing: is that you play with that group and you find out you're in over your head, at least do the gig right. Make sure you're doing everything correctly. If you're not nailing it out of the park, they're going to look at you and think, okay, he's 18, 19, 20 years old. most of the people you're going to play with are in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. They've been on the scene for years, and they've been there. So what they do is they say, hey, I know this guy that has a smaller group. They do bars on this day and this day. They'll send you to them, or they'll put your name around. It's all about networking when it comes to anything in entertainment, even in MMA, right? Like when stuff with Cage Wars came up, like every event, because I just liked being around the sport. I'd asked the owner, what do you need? I need someone to run gloves this event. Cool. I need someone to wrap hands this event. Awesome. I need security. Fine. So it was the same thing with playing gigs. I knew what it was like from watching my dad growing up and being around every band in my area. And my dad was in the biggest cover band, and I mean, they went all over New York State and Northeast. They go down to the Carolinas sometimes too. So I got to really understand how to network then. Basically, you just kind of shut up and learn for most of it. That's really, and people have a hard time doing that. Like, admit when you're wrong, shut up, listen to what they're telling you, and you don't know better when you're trying to get in. You just say yes, sir, or no, sir. That's it. For me, most of the time. And then you eventually find that your name pulls weight more than others in a lot of the areas because you paid your dues. A lot of entertainment stuff is kind of like old school mafia mentality. You pay your dues, eventually you're made, is the way I would word it.
I think that's a great way to look at it. And that's one of the things I tell a lot of people trying to get into this industry right now is the more you try to be a friend to everyone, the more you will succeed in this industry. Yeah. If you have a beef with everyone, if you always have a problem with everyone, you're not going to go anywhere very quick. I think a perfect example of this locally was the Leprechaun. We watched him like rise and fall very, very quickly. Like everyone wanted to see him fight, but every time he'd show up, didn't make weight, didn't want to go in the cage, call out the next day. And you make a lot of enemies quick when you don't make good on your deals.
Well, I mean, that was like going back to, not to just use him. I'm not trying to pick on him, but with RJ, it's like everyone knew that everyone wanted to go watch him because, oh, that guy is bad. You know what I mean? Like for whatever reason, people wanted to watch because he sucked in a lot of ways, which was the funny thing. But then when you start adding on all the other things that he would do, like when he starts taking dives, like blatant dives and fights, people are like, I don't even want to watch him. Then they're not going to match him. It's the same thing like you said with, I can't even remember his name, the Leprechaun. But it was similar. I liked him when I saw him in person, but then he showed up to an event and just didn't walk in the cage, but he was walking around the event. I was like, what? Yeah. I can't respect that. I'm like, unless you were sick or a doctor said you couldn't fight, I don't get it. You signed it. I mean, amateurs know you didn't sign it, but it's a verbal agreement and you're screwing people over because there's someone that's going to take that serious and now they don't get to do it. And I hate that. Drives me nuts.
So. What's unfortunate about that situation too is a lot of that attention. Like Richard Cloudhammer got a lot of nice clout out of it, but on the other hand, someone else on that fight card, those fight cards, could have gotten that same clout and that energy and built up their name. Instead, that energy from the viewers went to this what is essentially a deadbeat.
Yep. And then the other part of it, too, is it makes the promotion look bad because then you're going to start saying, well, now the promotion only signs or wants people that are going to pull this shit, for the views and stuff like that. And, it's just there's no winner in it. I'd word it that way.
What are your opinion on promotions, letting shenanigans happen for the spectacle of it?
I don't like it because, look, from a business standpoint, if you want to go that way, yes, you need to sell the tickets. You need to make money, or else events just won't happen and the platform's gone. I understand that, but also it's like the Jake Paul stuff. I respect what he does because you're a millionaire and you don't have to be training boxing, and clearly you're getting better. But at the end of the day, there's so much of a question mark on everything he does now that I don't even bother. It's the same thing with local promotions. Like, I'm going to put this guy who's like 3-18 against this monster Division I wrestler who's 4-0 and has killed everyone in under 30. I don't like that. It's at that point you're just trying to get tickets. And I hate when people go around, oh, I just beat this guy in under 2 seconds. Well, no shit. It's you. For me, again, as an amateur, I felt like I mean, I fought a guy named Yuri Panfarov who's fought on the Contender Series twice. I fought Corey Norman, who nobody beat. The guy Hamdi Abdel Wahab, who just fought in the UFC, lost to Corey. You know what I mean? All these things. I didn't say no to anybody. And I think the gimmick fights is just, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like if you're in the sport, you're in it to test yourself, or it's a gentleman's bet. You know, like years ago, we had this, oh God, what was the promotion called in Utica? Long story short, two rival barbers in the Utica area hated each other, and they both agreed to fight in the cage in a kickboxing match. And they were both in their 40s, and it sucked. But, like, it raised a lot of money. They donated it to charity, and, like, okay. But it also opened the card as people were walking in the arena. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything crazy.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's stuff like that. Like, if you label it an exhibition, like, it was fine. But if it was like, no, this is a fight, no, it's not. You know, that's my opinion.
I really I watched the first Jake Paul. No, not the first Jake Paul. I watched some of the Tyson Jake Paul. That's the one I watched, and I only watched that because I like Tyson. Like, yep. I like Tyson's story. Like, coming from, you know, that wreck that he was to growing to the person he is today. Right. You know, kind of acknowledging those mistakes, kind of like growing from where he was. It's really like a hero's story if you think about it in some ways. For sure. With a lot of fuck ups along the way. Don't get me wrong, but watching that fight, honestly, I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off. I did not. It made me sick to my stomach on a I don't know.
Interesting. I don't think me and you have talked about that before. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Not bad.
No, you're good. You're good. Continue.
No, when it came to, I remember that fight as well, and I went over to a buddy's house and watched it, and I feel like with what you were saying about Mike Tyson's character development and his growth over the years, you know, no one can say for sure exactly what happened backstage, but I feel like Tyson really went into that fight knowing what was going on, and I think he didn't walk in expecting to win. And when you look at his history, right, and him talking about learning humility. And then he even said before that fight that he liked Jake not for what Jake himself was, but for what he was doing for the sport of boxing. Because, like, for me, I never watched a boxing fight in my life other than when McGregor fought Mayweather and when Jake started getting into the scene. So, in a weird way, I feel like that, obviously, and then you find all the medical issues that Steph Tyson was having, but when you see that, like, he almost got to come full circle in that and I feel like that was him giving back to the sport and taking his own name and his own pride out of it. And if that makes sense. I feel like he was trying to do that for something bigger than the record, and the win-loss wasn't as much of a concern at that point.
Sure. That's fair.
That's a deep way of thinking of it.
At the same time, though, it's still terrible watching Jake Paul just start punching. How old is Tyson now? Like,
60. I think he's 60 now, 59 or 60.
And then come to find out that he had to have like a giant blood transfusion or something right before that too. So yeah, it's just very interesting to see how that goes. Like, I guess gimmick fights have their place, but just don't pass it off as anything more than a gimmick. I feel like that's what irritates people about Jake Paul. If he just came out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this for views," and instead of trying to act like, "Oh yeah, no, I definitely just outboxed Anderson Silva." What? That doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I agree with a lot of what you just said. So,
where do you think Jake Paul actually lines up on like a world stage with actual boxers? Because didn't he get his ass kicked by Tyson Fury's younger brother?
I think it was a close fight, from what I understand. I never really watched it, but apparently it was a split. But I think if you put him against, like in cruiserweight, I don't really know many cruiserweight contenders right now. But if you put him against like a Daniel Dubois, forget it. I mean, that's I would think Daniel Dubois would nuke him at heavyweight, or Anthony Joshua, which apparently I saw that post before I got on. That's in the works. I guess it's Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul now. And it's like, listen, if that looks like an actual bout and Jake Paul lasts, good for him, you know, but I don't know. I think if you put him against any known heavyweight, I think he gets demolished. That's just my opinion, though.
Might be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
All right. 33 minutes, my man. It's getting late. How do you feel about some trivia?
I like trivia.
You like trivia? All right.
I do.
Jeremy, how do you feel about asking some questions tonight?
All right, I'll ask some questions. Yeah, let's do it. I'm be looking at the screen that's right here instead of directly into the camera. It's gonna work. Oh, it's game time. All right, let's go. All right, I'm in it to win it now.
All right.
All right, what's John got cooked up for us today? Let's see. What year was LFA founded?
What was
2008.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My bad. Age 2008, 2016, or 2010.
So before it was LFA, it was Access Fights, I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and say, is it 2016 when it turned into LFA?
Oh,
B. I picked B.
he's picking B, John. Which is it? Okay, 2016. Nice.
All right. Cool.
He's so proud of his soundboard. All right, who was the first LFA bantamweight champion?
Oh, God. Marcus Pizarro. Let's go with that. I don't know. C. I have no idea for this one. Oh, Joseph
right.
Lewis. Okay. I've never heard of any of those names. That's funny.
To be honest, neither have I. Johnson fucked up on this one. All right. And so for the third one, who was the first fighter to win titles in 2 UFC divisions simultaneously?
Daniel Cormier.
Was it Connor? Oh, he just didn't defend them. That's what I guess he held the belt.
Did he have the 45 strap when he fought Alvarez?
Did he?
I thought he vacated it. No,
Yeah,
you know what? John's right. And here's why. Because in the cage, he did have both belts. That is true. And then it was after. It was literally 3 or 4 days after McGregor. Oh, you got me on that. Daniel Cormier is the first one to defend 2 titles at the same time. Okay. That makes sense.
Connor did it well. Cormier actually defended. I mean, Cormier is underrated. Like yeah. I just want to say, I've seen way too much Cormier hate since he started commentating, and I feel like if he came back today in his
he'd
prime,
do well. I think he'd do well.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
But with BJ Penn though, he's the first person to win 2 belts though, because then let's see. Because BJ won the lightweight championship, then he left, broke his contract, went to K1, came back, fought Matt Hughes in a weird one-off. And then it was Randy Couture, though, I think was the second guy to win 2 divisions. I can't remember, but he was heavyweight, light heavyweight. I know that because he retired, came back, beat Tim Sylvia. Yeah. Cool.
You got me on the trivia. I have to look it up to make these, so.
Cool.
No, I thought for sure you were going to get the UFC, the Conor McGregor one. That seems to be one most of the folks land. But
yeah, because I'm thinking defend.
He's looking at real champs, not paper champs. You're not champ until you defend the belt 3. Okay. Jokes. I do want to ask you, man, what are your thoughts with the pay-per-view coming up this week? Makhachev versus JDM.
Oh, I mean, the thing is Islam is so good everywhere. It's kind of disgusting. I mean, there are just some people out there that are just good everywhere that way. I mean, he can strike very well. He's got great hand-eye coordination. That's the other thing. People talk about all the power. Oh, he knows what he's doing. His technical ability, his hand-eye coordination, his reaction time, knowing what to do at what time is better than anyone. That said, JDM's defense is very unorthodox for a guy like Islam. I think he uses his boxing to his advantage very well. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I can't really pick. If someone said you have to pick, I'd say Islam is gonna make it. He's gonna win. But I can see Islam getting dropped this fight. I do see that happening personally. I see him getting floored. Yeah. I do see him getting floored at least once. Coming back to fight though, but we'll see.
Nice. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody's prediction. This is one of those that it doesn't seem to be as clear cut. It felt like Islam there for a minute was like everyone was betting on him 100% all the way. Now he's moving up a weight class. It seems to be a little bit more up in the air. So thank you.
Yeah, and then Zhang Weili and Valentina, that's another one, but I'd have to go with Shevchenko just because of the size at that point. Size,
okay.
I would go with because I do think Valentina is just a bit more patient. I think that'll determine. I think her patience will, because Weili, if nothing's happening, she wants to go get you, and I think Valentina will sit there and wait until it's time. She doesn't care. I'm gonna win. That's all she thinks. I'm gonna win on my terms. Which is smart.
Yeah, that's a good way of breaking that down. They are two total polar opposites in mindset there. I mean, they've both been on such a tear for so long, too. Oh, yeah. I mean, Weili, her versus Joanna, still, the greatest women's fight of all time? Yeah. Like, I mean, it'll be a good one this week.
Oh, for sure. Awesome.
All right. Guys, with that let's begin the close. Al, where can people find you, my man?
If you go my social media across all boards like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube's all under my YouTube channel's name, which is The Combat Corporation. It's combat_corp. You can follow me on there. I post my YouTube page and Instagram. I try to do daily, if not every 2 days. Just some new contents. As you can see, all the stuff behind me is all the gloves I've collected over the years. So I do a lot of glove reviews, stuff like that. So if you're ever in need of something new and you don't know where to go, check out my channel is what I would tell you.
Real quick, last question. Which one's your favorite? Can you grab it?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's probably between two. This one is by Barrick Boxing. And these are, what's up, Arkham? It's my dog. And they're horsehair foam. They're actually one of the few brands still made in the USA. There's only like 3 or 4 around. They're expensive, but like the foam they use is actually what they put in NASA spaceships to like cradle your knuckles and your wrists. So it has amazing knuckle protection. Also has horsehair to give you that awesome like fight glove feel. The leather's outstanding. I mean, taking them out of this little bag here, my whole room smells like cowhide. But the thing is, again, it's expensive. So it's like $400, $500, something like that. If you want something that's really close, that's about half the price. Hit and Move is my favorite brand out there. Still great, genuine cowhide leather. Actually Italian leather too, which is cool. Horsehair blend, and it has really good protective qualities. This is the best like mass-produced glove I think they have. This is their Suvari model, but they also have a bunch of other models. But everything by Hit and Move. Scientifically made, and I've been with them since they started, so they're one of my favorites out there, and they're taking over the whole world. So it's like a deadlock tie between these two. But if I were to recommend it to a genuine consumer or a casual consumer, I'd probably say go with It and Move, because you're not going to spend quite as much. So
I'm gonna have to get a pair of those black ones. Those sound nice.
Oh yeah, they're sick. They're made, each and every one of them is made by the same guy. That's it, just one guy in Texas. Sends them all out. So Rich is my man. So
yeah, we're gonna tag that down below. All right. And where can people watch your fight? Before I forget,
it should be live on UFC Fight Pass. I believe I'm on the main card. If not, there are YouTube prelims. I know that, but I do know mine is televised. That much I was told. So it's on one of those two.
We'll definitely put the link down for that as well, my man. All right, guys. Till next time, this has been the JMA Podcast. Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, comment. This week, we also will be at Elite Fighting in Albany, New York as well. We also have some amazing products available on the website. Guys, till next time, stay blessed. This has been the JMA Podcast. Peace.